What's going on? We in the What's going on, everybody? I almost just had to cough just now, but then like the cough like swallowed itself or something. Hope you guys are doing grand. If you new to the channel, hello, how are you doing? My name is Jennifer Crawley. I'm a life coach. I love God. I love ministry. I'm a suicide counselor. I hope I can say that word and you two don't trip. I am an entrepreneur. I own my own hoodie line. You can go get you a hoodie, theblackgrace.com. And, oh, I need to get some gas. Thank you for letting me know. Hope y'all doing okay. You know, we discuss a lot of different things on this channel here, so it's nice to meet everybody. Thank you for everybody's love and support. Thank you for watching, because you don't have to take time out of your day to listen to what I have to say, even though what I have to say is important. Okay, the things that I can say can help assist you enhance your life. No, but I thank y'all for y'all love and support. I may do a couple of videos surrounding this, because it's so much that you can unpack in terms of, you know, relationships. And of course, I need to, I went through the car wash and it opened up my gas tank, and I can see it in my mirror, and I want to get out and close it, but I feel like every time I get ready to get out, the light won't change. So I'll just wait till I get to my destination. But you know, there's so much to unpack when you're talking about relationships. And you know, typically when people are listening to you, you have to go into such great detail, because everybody has their own thoughts, their own process. You know, they'll take what you say and assess it to their own understanding, which is fair. And so sometimes certain topics I may not really want to discuss, because I'm like, I really don't want to have to sit in the video and explain all of these things, because some stuff should be common sense, but some stuff is not, because again, age, background, how we were raised, culture, etc. But you know, hey, if you ever have any questions or want clarity, or even if you want to disagree in a healthy way, that's what the comments is for. And if I happen to see it, I see it. If I don't, happy watching. But this one particular conversation that I want to have in terms of relationships is just depending on, well, what I've noticed is on average, after about the age 33-ish, different people that I've counseled and spoke to, I've noticed that they have said that it's hard to either make friends, or they don't have a problem being friendly, but when they try to make friends, they kind of recognize that they really can't catch a vibe with the person to the point where it could be something that is long lasting. And I've had a couple of people actually ask me, and by the way, if you want coaching, you can just email me at jennifercrawley86@gmail.com. I can give you one-on-one coaching if you would like. But I've had a couple of people ask me, in particular around that category, is, you know, what do I do with that? How do I manage my loneliness? Not loneliness because I need companionship, for a companionship with a man or a woman, in terms of intimacy, in terms of boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, etc. But they were just kind of asking me, like, you know, how do I kind of balance my emotions around that? Because I have a desire to have friends and make friends and have long lasting relationships, and have relationships to where it can be a mutual investment. That's just the word that I use, where it can be a mutual investment. But it seems like I'm running into vibe checks where we just don't vibe. Doesn't mean we don't get along, doesn't mean we dislike each other. It just means I'm not finding what I feel could be a fulfillment as unto me, and me being a fulfillment as unto someone else. What do I do with that? And I'm sure that many of us have struggled with that in a certain area. And if you haven't, I'm glad that you have not. And I definitely encourage you to continue to maintenance and foster and cater and be attentive and be intentional about the ones that you call friends that are in your life, so that you can continue to have that. And I was letting them know, again, because I had multiple different conversations, even with males. And males are a little bit different at times, when males can be different in how females gain relationships and how male gain relationships. But there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean they're different in a bad way. It just means we're two different species. So there's obviously going to be some differences. But I was saying to them, I said, I actually have discussed this with several different people, and it seems that they kind of seem to be running into the same struggle. And I said, there's really no one particular answer on what you're supposed to do in the meantime, in terms of what should I be doing. Do this one thing and that'll make you have a friend, that'll make people be attracted to you, or different things like that. But I told them, I said, I can go on and on and on, because it's not just one thing. I need to get my dog some local honey, y'all, because he having allergies, and they said local honey will help. But anyways, and I said, but what I find is you can never do enough, if you will, when it comes to working on yourself. And that looks different for everybody. So you have to ask yourself, what does that mean for you? Are you working on your mindset? Are you working on your emotions slash feelings? Are you working on how you perceive things? Are you working on letting go of old issues and trauma and bad relationships? Whatever. Are you working on your body? Are you working on your education? Are you working on your career path? I don't know if that's loud to you guys. So you never can go wrong putting the energy and the time you have, or the spare time, working on yourself. And another thing that I like to encourage people to do is find yourself trying to get out, even just a little bit. Of course, you're not getting out being thirsty, looking for a friend, trying to force a friendship. No, but putting yourself in different situations other than your everyday routine. If you're going to work and you don't feel that there's anybody at your job that may fit, this fit the description or what have you of this, it seems like this is something that I can cultivate into a long-lasting friendship. Find a good happy hour. You don't even have to drink. Get out and about on the weekends, but keep your head held high. Make sure your shoulders are back. Give off the perception and the energy, if you will, that you're approachable. Spark up a conversation with someone in the grocery store. Find different groups. There's so many different groups that people come up with online, whether it's Facebook groups or you can just Google it. And I know it could be a bit different, and it could be a bit odd, especially if you're not one that likes to go places alone. But you'd be surprised how many people that are also at that same event and or venue alone. And I just believe that certain things will begin to attract to you and vice versa. You may just happen to catch eyes with a person, or even here's another little trick. You can go to a restaurant, instead of sitting by yourself, sit at the bar. Doesn't mean you have to drink. You might not even like to drink. That's fine. But when you sit at the bar, typically, on average, most people that are sitting at the bar, they're pretty friendly. That whole scene kind of pushes you into, we're all here to talk, we're all here to be open. I've even done that, where I've been in a restaurant and the wait may have been too long, and I'll go sit at the bar, don't order the drink, just order my food. And somebody may say something about something on TV, and I may chime in, or me and the bartender may spark up a conversation and somebody may chime in, or I may hear the bartender talking to somebody else and I may chime in. And I've never had a bad experience with that. Look for things that are within your age group. It may be a jazz night. It may be a comedy club night. It may be a social night where it's like, hey, game night for this age and over. And again, it's going to take a little bit of uncomfortability, because you want to automatically jump into that comfort of, I just want to kind of get to know somebody. I don't want to have to really do all of that. And I can completely understand that. So of course, with wisdom, move at your own pace. However, don't not move at all. But again, you're doing these things. You don't have to do it every day. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on yourself, but you're doing these things while you're still working on you. And then another thing that I like to give a suggestion on is find yourself a hobby. Find yourself a hobby. Pick up something that you love, but then be willing to do something that you may say, I would actually never do that. Depending on the area you in, see if you can join a hiking group. And guess what? People are so friendly. You can kind of make a joke of like, hey, I kind of just really joined this hiking group just to see if I can meet some new people. But hiking is not my thing. I can go about 2 miles with you guys, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn around. People are nicer than what social media can portray, right? There are people out there that are friendly, right? But pick up a hobby. There's groups out there where, they may make candles, or they may want to learn about painting, or just something. And even if you just say, I'm going to try to at least schedule this once a month, and just try your best to try to go. Of course, when the day comes, you might kind of be like, oh my gosh, I really wanted to do this, but it's kind of embarrassing. I'm pulling up to the event by myself. I'm going to kind of walk in. It's kind of awkward. Let's just be truthful with it, right? It's going to be kind of awkward. I don't know who may be the hosts or the hostess. And if I do know, what if I walk in and they're nowhere to be found? So I totally understand there's things that you will have to work through. But guess what? That's life. But see, I feel that the enemy in ourselves tries to trick us out of certain things that we can actually do, but he'll let us lead in fear. That'll stop us from doing it. So therefore, what it is that you're feeling and that you're wanting and that you desire seems to be unobtainable, because there's fear in the way, right? There's embarrassment in the way. There's shame in the way. There's, I'm too old for this. I'm too young for this. I never would have expected that someone like me would have to do it. Oh man. Then what'll happen is the enemy and yourself, which is natural. The enemy's not natural, but your emotions will start to make you think back on people who you used to be cool with, that you knew that season is over. So now what do? You may pick up the phone. You may double back. Why? Just to cause yourself more heartache, more issues, more trauma. And now you like, I knew I shouldn't have went back to being friends with them. I knew the friendship dissolved for a reason, or I knew that season had changed. But you do that because that's what's more comfortable. And so, you have to find yourself in a place where you're willing to truly assess, where you're at, what you're willing to do. And most importantly, push past what makes you uncomfortable. Push past what seems to you, this is really unorthodox. But guess what? You might have to push past that. You can't always expect to do the same thing and think you're going to have a different outcome. It's going to take a little bit of courage. It's going to take a little bit of putting yourself out there. It's going to take a little bit of, this is uncomfortable. This is weird. Oh my goodness. I would never tell somebody I went to a whole chess group and I don't even know how to play chess. But you know what? I'm going to go do it simply because why not? I'm going to just go in and just be honest with some people and say, hey guys, I'm really not a chess player, but I just want to kind of get to know everybody. I just want to kind of put myself out there. There's coffee groups. There's mom groups, right? There's sport mom groups, aka soccer mom. There's so many different groups out there. It's just you have to push past that and put yourself, out there. And it can be uncomfortable. So I absolutely get it. But like I said, what I do believe is, while you're working through that and working on that, be working on yourself, because that might not be a decision that you're ready to make to step out of your comfort zone tomorrow or today or next week. But definitely try to have a plan, because here's what I've learned about people. Everybody wants someone in their life. I don't care who you are. As a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, as middle age, if you want to call it, elderly, if you want to call it, whatever words you want to use to describe your age range, there is nothing more rewarding and satisfying and uplifting to be able to have someone that you can just talk to, vent to, laugh with, go to lunch with. And it's not always about, oh, I need to find somebody where I could just be all out here in the streets. Hey, if you want to find somebody where you can go out, hang out with, go to the clubs with, whatever you want to find, you know what you're looking for. But the point is, it's nothing more rewarding than having somebody that you can vibe with. Go through the highs, the lows, the goods, the bads, the ups, the downs. That's rewarding. That's rewarding. And so those are just a couple of little tips to just find a way to put yourself out there. And also, I'm going to say another thing. Sometimes, especially with TikTok, you know, if you search a few things in TikTok, there's different things that come up where people will talk about, oh, I'm in this city, I'm in this new place, I'm doing this new thing, or what have you. And then in that, people will say, sometimes if you go to the comments, you'll see people say, I'm looking for new friends, I just moved to this new city, I'm interested in this too. Is there anybody in Texas? Is there anybody in XYZ? And if you just go look at the comments and you find yourself, you in that same city, don't be afraid to inbox somebody. It's 2024. I don't care how old you are. Don't be afraid to inbox somebody and say, hey girl, this may seem a little bit odd, but I saw that you made a comment on this particular influencer's or on this particular person's post. And you said, hey, I live in XYZ. I'm looking for a friend. So I figured I will go ahead and take my chance and message you and see, would you like to meet up? Because guess what? They've already put themselves out there and they've already placed themselves in a position to where they just let a whole bunch of strangers know, I'm looking for a friend. So therefore, when you message them, it's not going to seem so awkward. It's not going to seem as though, why would you say that to me? I don't trust people. It's not going to be like that. Because they've already told the world, if you will, this is where I'm at. And I'm looking to meet new people. And, you know, I would just say something to the nature of, hey, you know, hey, dear, you know, or hey, my love, or hey, whoever, you know, there's no pressure. We don't have to go out tomorrow. I know this can be weird for the both of us, but guess what? We both in the same position. We both in the same boat. You looking for a friend. I'm looking for a friend. Hey, I don't know what the outcome could be, but I'm definitely open to getting to know somebody. Send me 3 food items that you may like, and I'm gonna send you 3 restaurants that I may recommend, and let's pick one and let's just maybe meet up. Maybe an hour max. It's no pressure. If worst case scenario, this could give us the encouragement that we both need to begin to meet new people. Hope to hear from you soon, new friend, LOL. People be receptive to things like that, but our fears makes us think and believe that people are not receptive. Our fears and stuff makes us believe there's no way somebody would do that. There's no way that's healthy. There's no way I'm going to look thirsty. I'm going to look this. No, you're not, because a person already put on a post, listen, I need new friends. And that's another thing that I also see on social media a lot, is that so many people say that in comments. I see it, especially with certain topics like that. I see people say it's so hard. So they definitely say it's hard to meet a man or a woman who could be a good suitor. But I see a lot of comments where people talk about it is so hard to meet people. It's so hard to meet friends. Or they'll say things like, you know, when you do have friends, you find out that they're jealous of you, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, hey, worst case scenario, if you put yourself out there, what's going to happen? What's the worst that can happen? You may find something within a person, and they may see something within you, and you guys can develop something that's long lasting. Or you end up in the same place you are, where you say, well, that's not a friend, or that's not somebody that I can vibe with, and it's all good. And let me tell you something, we all adults, and sometimes I don't understand why sometimes people are so afraid to just communicate certain things. And I understand we should be mindful because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. But even in something like that, I will be like, girl, listen, we don't got to waste each other's time. If within a certain amount of time, if you feel like I'm not your cup of tea and I'm not your vibe, it doesn't mean that I don't like you, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Hey, it's no harm, no foul. Let's just put ourselves out there. What you think? You'd be surprised. So what am I saying? Most importantly, don't stop working on you. Find you a hobby or get yourself active. You don't have to do it every single day, but find yourself trying to do something. Get out of your habit of routine, because what happens is life can kind of seem to pass you by. And number 3, again, you don't have to do this today, nor do you have to start to do this tomorrow. But be open to putting yourself out there. I love y'all. We'll talk soon.